everybody. How you doing this evening? Everyone good? You can keep eating, and feel free to go up and get another corn dog. How are, anyone have the corn dogs? How are they? Are they good? I'm gonna get one on the way out. I have a special corn dog diet. Don't tell the provost. He was here earlier. Hi everyone, my name is Steve Tello. I am Vice Provost for Graduate Online and Professional Studies here at the university. I also had the pleasure of starting DifferenceMaker program back in 2012, is that right? Yeah. With Holly and Har and a bunch of the faculty here on campus. And so we're really excited to have you all here with us this evening to spend a little time learning more about DifferenceMaker. How many of you remember DifferenceMaker from summer orientation? A few? Oh, very good. All right. Well, okay, now be honest. Was it the best part of orientation? Oh, you can answer that after. I think it is, but. So tonight we are going to talk a little bit about what DifferenceMaker is, why it is, and then I know they have some fun hands-on activities for you lined up. Do I have to start clicking now? Okay. I can go through my intro first. We didn't practice, so. Okay, thank you. It's been real busy. It's final semester and all that. So we're going to spend some time and give you a chance. You'll get a chance to get to know some of the folks you're with. You'll actually get a chance to sort of explore new ideas and such a little bit later. But feel free, if you want to get a drink or something to snack on, just feel free to get up and do that. So before we get started, Holly has asked me to thank some folks, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the program. And first, I would like to thank Tomas Demora, who's the Innovation Manager from Digital Federal Credit Union. And I did see Tomas, he's right here in the back. And Tomas is going to be speaking a little bit later this evening. I also see Dean Sandy Richtemeyer hiding over here behind the hall. Thank you, Dean Richtemeyer from the Manning School of Business for joining us tonight.
I wasn't hiding, I was actually trying to take a good picture.
This is my good side. So
okay, we'll get that one.
Dee Rickmeyer and her faculty are big supporters of the program. I'm also happy to introduce my boss, Dean Joe Hartman. I'm sorry, Provost. I demoted you, don't tell Jim, I'll get jealous. Provost Joe Hartman, who's here, who I've had the pleasure of working with now for almost 6 years, right? Yeah. So we've had a lot of fun together. So we have a great group here, and then we also have faculty fellows. You may have met some of the faculty fellows already, and I'm just going to ask all of the fellows to stand up for me, so you can all say hi. And we have, let's see, Mike. I saw Michael Siuchta. Where's Michael?
He had to go to a chat session.
Oh, okay. He's had a quick hello, and he's teaching. Mazen El-Ghazari and Brent. I saw Brent here as well from Health Sciences. Kathy Levy from Fine Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. I don't see Neil Shortland, but he's also from Fine Arts, Humanities, Social Science. Hunter Mack from Engineering, thank you, Hunter. Tom Wilkes from Sciences as well, and David Vadalaro. Where's David at? Oh, sorry, I caught him with a mouthful. So David has been helping us out for quite a while, and I do think I captured everybody here. So how about a round of applause for the fellows? Thank you very much. I want to thank all of you for coming back tonight. We have a number of co-op students here tonight as well, and we appreciate the work they do. And of course, Holly Butler, Harpo, who are the managers and directors of DifferenceMaker, and they let me stand up here once or twice a year, but they actually do all the work. So with that, let me get started here. So what is DifferenceMaker? DifferenceMaker is basically a program that's meant to give you all an opportunity to solve problems that you really care about by using creative problem-solving techniques, innovation, and entrepreneurship. So it's a program. We also have a number of different supports in place in this program. Of course, there is funding to help you move your ideas forward, but there's also mentoring, there's team building, there's exposure to the many different resources such as the Innovation Hub, or the Medical Device Incubator, or the Makerspace. So there are a lot of resources that are put out there for you to help move your ideas forward. DifferenceMaker is not a one-semester project. I know we have a number of freshmen here. I'll tell you, we met students as freshmen who've gone out, they got busy with school, and then suddenly they come back as sophomores, and then they start to develop their idea, and then as juniors they get funding, and then we have folks who have graduated, gone out, raised $1 million in funding, and are still working with us through the Innovation Hub and some of the other projects. So DifferenceMaker is really a set of techniques and a method and resources that can help you sustain the development of the solutions, whether it's a business or a new product or a nonprofit organization, and move it forward. So it's kind of exciting. It's different than a lot of the programs. We've already introduced the faculty fellows. I jumped ahead a little bit. I also want to acknowledge Kim and Brian Riss. Brian is an alumni of the Manning School of Business, and he and Kim have established an endowment, multi-million-dollar endowment, to support the work of DifferenceMaker. And that program is actually going to allow us to expand in a couple of different areas. One is we now have funding for a risk DifferenceMaker fellow, so we can work with a graduate student who will work with the program. It also will provide funding, so if you're successful and you move your idea forward, you move it through all of our programs, we can actually support your participation in national competitions, like the Rice Business Plan competition, for example. And we're really excited about the opportunity to take and celebrate your success and move it off campus, out of Massachusetts, to other parts of the country. We'll also name the Risk Campus-wide DifferenceMaker Prize, so when you go through the process next April when we have the DifferenceMaker competition, the big prize is the Campus-wide DifferenceMaker Prize. And right now, I think that's about a $6,000 award with additional mentoring and support. So there's a lot going on. We really appreciate the risk support, and we appreciate the support of many of our alumni. All of the fund, all the money that we give away, a lot of the sponsorship for the co-op students, that's all funded through our very generous alumni. So I very much appreciate their support. The program would not be possible without it. So, what have we done? We've been around since 2012. It was a small program. We looked at a lot of different programs in different parts of the country, and we modeled DifferenceMaker on some of the best examples that we saw. And the idea is really to help walk you through this path and either help you to figure out that the solution you've proposed needs to be changed and modified, and maybe you need to try something else, or say, yeah, it's the right idea, let's get it out there and try to figure out how to get it to market. So we have some impressive statistics, right? We've given out $350,000 to students to move their ideas forward. I guess I should tell them about the check, right? We never actually give anyone a check. What we do is we kind of award money, but it goes in an account that you can draw against to move your project forward. But students have been very successful in moving forward. They've turned that $350,000 into $2.5 million. Our students, just like you, right? They sat in this seat 5-6 years ago. They've raised $2.5 million from private investments and private investors in other competitions. And a handful of those startups are actually have products out in the market. We had one company, Topicare, that developed a plastic injection molded ashtray. You know, new cars don't have ashtrays anymore, but people haven't quit smoking. So this student developed this ashtray that snaps on a soda can. It sits in the cup holder. Walmart, across the country, sold out of 80,000 of them in 6 months. He bought a factory to manufacture them in Nashville. An engineering student, just like some of you here. He had just graduated, right? It was like a year after graduation. He had to do another run, 2 runs, 80,000 each at Walmart. And now he's on to a new idea and a new company. So that's some of the success. We have 8 patents that have been issued, 91 winning teams, 33 companies, and 33,000 students have participated in DifferenceMaker activity in the last few years. So we've got a pretty good track record, and the work of Holly and Howard, the faculty fellows, has been recognized on a national basis by some of the organizations that we work with. So I'm proud of the work that they've all done. They've all worked really hard to make this a reality. So who are some of their teams? So what are some of the DifferenceMaker teams? Anyone heard of Invisaware? Yeah, a few of you, right? Invisaware, they created a piece of jewelry, a little jewelry medallion that actually has an alert system in it. And I remember, this is what's interesting about these ideas. I remember 3 years ago when they first brought the idea forward, there were already alert systems, right? Y'all have seen I've fallen and I can't get up, you know, the little the ugly white pendant that nobody wants anyone to see. If you went to Brookstone or Shopper Image, is this yours, Aubrey? Yeah. So this is an Invisiware charm, right? And if I hit that button, which I won't do, it'll dial, it connects to your smartphone, and it'll call 5 people, right? They're already selling this. I think they said they generated $750,000 in revenue through the sale of this. They were sitting at a table like this just a few years ago. What's even neater, about a year ago, they actually made national news because there was a car accident in Lowell. A woman had a car accident at the end of the Lowell connector, right? Car's totaled. She's trapped in the car. She couldn't find her cell phone, right? Because when it hit, it scattered. She had her pendant, she hit it, and that's how they called emergency services. And that got picked up on national. So that's one team in Invisiware. Ray and Raja created that team. And they weren't sure if it was going to be successful, but they had a lot of gumption, right? And they worked really hard, and they found other people who believed in the idea, and that's how they built that company. And they also stayed in Lowell, so they're actually doing some work in Lowell, and they have manufacturing as well. Another team, one of our first campus-wide DifferenceMaker teams, non-spec. And this is a funny story because I can very clearly remember. So our first round, we do our workshops, and I remember this team of engineers and business students, and at the time I think there were 6 of them, right? And I remember they were in the ideation phase, and we're talking to them, and one of the students throws their hands up and says, I don't know what we're doing. This is just so confusing. Initially, their idea was to create a brain-controlled prosthetic device, right? So they wanted a prosthetic device that you could control with your thoughts. Well, they go through the process, and at some point they realize it's going to take millions of dollars to do that. And they also realized that there were teams at Stanford and Johns Hopkins and MIT already working on that. And then they looked at the market opportunity. And what they suddenly realized is, well, people are developing these high-end brain-controlled devices that are very expensive. At the low end of the market, there was an opportunity to develop a low-cost prosthetic for amputees in developing countries. So they pivoted, and what they now have is a low-cost prosthetic limb that they can bring to the market for under $100, and it's on sale, and it's adjustable, right? So as a person grows, it can be adjusted. It's easy to adjust. So if you live in a place where India, where you might have to travel 5 hours to get to the doctor's office, you can adjust it yourself. So it can be set up and then it can be adjusted. They're selling these in India and in other parts of the world. And they're still involved. They still work with us over in the Innovation Hub. So, and, little fact, Jonathan and Aaron both went on to get their PhDs here at the university, and then they got married. Isn't that sweet? Operation 250. So, you know, DifferenceMaker isn't just about making products, right? DifferenceMaker is about helping you solve problems that you care about. And our students care about lots of different things. Operation 250 is a team that worked with faculty fellow Neil Shortland with a mix of fine arts, humanities, social science, and some business majors. And what they came up with was a model for developing a curriculum to help young people, help keep them away from terrorist activities, help them from being brainwashed by terrorist websites. And so they actually have developed a curriculum that's been licensed and is being taught in schools. And then on top of that, I mean, I think we gave them maybe $6,000, and then I know our alums also donated probably $20,000, $25,000. But then the Homeland Security, Department of Homeland Security, actually gave them a grant for $1 million. They didn't know, when they started this, they were just like you, right? They were anxious, they were wondering where the idea was going to go. The next thing you know, they're flying to Washington, D.C. to accept a $1 million grant. So there were some really incredible stories, I think, that our students, that you all have developed over the few years here that you're here with us. And we're really proud of all that work that you all do. Some teams that are in the loop right now, I know CapNat. Michael, CapNat's working with you, right, on the iPro. Michael Lane is Director of New Venture Development. And so DifferenceMaker is a partnership with a bunch of different groups at the university. Some of it is academic, some of it's in tech transfer, some of it's at our Innovation Hub, some of it's with alumni and other organizations. And so we work closely with folks like Michael, and he's helping this team right now go through an I-Corps program. So they went through DifferenceMaker, they got training in how to move their ideas forward, and now they're working on a National Science Foundation project that actually ups the ante for the development of their technology. So we have a lot of exciting opportunities for our students. Where does this go? This really goes as far as you want it to. We're here to help you, to support you, connect you with resources, and to help you move forward. But it's really up to you where it ultimately goes. So with that, I will wish you the best of luck. I look forward to seeing you in the competitions that Holly's going to talk about. And I look forward to giving you some money in the spring too. So thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, Steve, and welcome everybody. My name is Holly Butler. I'm the director of the DifferenceMaker program, and thank you all for coming. So I have the pleasure of introducing our two guest speakers. They'll talk a bit about the college-based competitions we have to offer funding to you all this semester. So first is Tomas Demora, and he's the innovation director at DCU. And I also wanted to give a shout out actually to Jim Regan, who I see right now. He is the CEO of DCU Bank, so he was kind enough to come today. So welcome, Jim. And so DCU sponsors this event as well as the Manning School of Business. So Tomas, would you like to come and say a few words about the competition?
Thank you, Holly. So good evening. Nice to meet everyone. So Tomas Demora from DCU, and as Holly mentioned, Innovations Manager. So one thing a lot of people know about DCU, but what is DCU to begin with? It's a credit union, right? So it's a not-for-profit financial institution, and we try to help members with their financial goals. To help members with financial goals, especially in this day and age, we have to have good technology. And you know that with all this revolution to the technology world, it's hard out there for any institution to keep up with it. So that's one of the reasons why we partnered with UMass Lowell to see what you come up with, because you're out there. You're the innovative person, right? You're innovative people to come up with those things. So a lot of people ask me, but what's innovation? Right? How do you innovate? And first of all, you have to start with a challenge, right? You have to start thinking about how do you solve a problem. And it's a problem that you have to be passionate about, because you can't just come up with something that you're not really passionate about. So that would not make a good innovative idea. So you come up with the challenge, and you think about, how do we move forward now? And then you start thinking about maybe technology, or sometimes just, you don't have to come up with a new technology. All you have to do is just think about a different use case of existing technology. So it's all about how do you implement your idea. There are many different ideas that are somewhat similar, but one of those are the winning, or is the winning. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I saw the other day simply a team of students that came up with this AI model to watch pools, swimming pools, to make sure people are not drowning. So AI models are already out there. All they had to do is adapt to the pools. It keeps watching if people surface or not, how long it takes for people to come back, and they had to adjust that model. And now they can help lifeguards to make sure people are not drowning. So it's a simple use case, but it had to have a challenge. And the challenge there was someone in someone's family had drowned. So they said, oh, let's help everyone else with it. So that's about innovation, right? That's how you solve problems in the future. So that's why DCU is very proud to partner with UMass Lowell to foster this innovation, this ground innovation. We're looking forward to this year, not a nice list or huge list of innovative ideas. Specifically, we look for the fintech, right? Financial technology, that's where the word comes from. So fintech ideas, there's a variety of topics, right? There's payments, there could be blockchain, online banking, lending. There's a variety of topics. We do have a website that you can check out. And there's all the rules there and how you participate, how you submit your ideas. We have the dates up here. So today, right, kick off. So we're kicking off the innovation contest. You have the closing registration. Then you're going to present, and you're going to have the final competition day on December 3rd. So all of that is on the website. Do we have a website here? Yeah. So you can go to this website. There will be a link to all the rules again and how you do it. And there's some cash for the winners, right? So the winning team can win basically $500 per team member. So that's something nice, right? And we're talking about here the ideation, right? So the idea of submitting something that you can come up with, it has to be realistic, but you don't really have to develop that idea, meaning you don't have to code, you don't have to do a lot, you have to come up with a great idea to be the winner. So it's not hard, but I can see that there will be a lot of submissions. So really think about it, okay? So with this, I want to say thank you again for UMass Lowell for great partnership. I'll tell you that in my team, I have today 5 students that graduated from UMass Lowell. Right? So I'm in Chelmsford, Massachusetts, the next town over, and actually next week I'll be here at a career fair. So if anyone will stop by, please stop by, and we'll talk. But yeah, so that's a good partnership, and we look forward to continue this, and I will see you guys at probably the finals for the innovation contest. Thank you very much.
And the next guest speaker is Professor Hunter Mack. So he's a DifferenceMaker Faculty Fellow for the Francis College of Engineering, as well as a professor.
Very fancy slide
Yes.
too. Nice. Hey everybody, so I'm an assistant professor in mechanical engineering, and I'm here to talk about the College of Engineering prototyping competition. So first important thing, what's a prototype? Yes?
It's kind of like the initial step that you take in the development phase of an idea.
Excellent answer. So a lot of times kids get scared off when looking at this competition about what prototype is and what they have to make, and there's a benefit to doing this. As engineers, we like to get our hands dirty, we like to make things. You end up learning a lot about something as you try to create the first prototype, right? So part of the goal of the College of Engineering prototyping competition is to take your idea and make that first iteration. Because what happens, right, when you make it? What's inevitably what inevitably are you going to learn? That it doesn't work? What's wrong? What broke? What needs to be better, right? So the first step in coming up with a great idea is just trying and getting out there. And so the main purpose of this is to allow you to take an idea and to make something. And the goal is that you'll learn something and make something better. So in all of these competitions, one of the good things is that you can take these ideas, you can continue to refine them, and then use them in the idea challenge in the spring, right? And you can go after even larger funds. So speaking of funds, $7,000 is available for prizes for this competition. 5 total awards, including one that's dedicated to biomedical devices, right? In terms of teams, so the only requirement is that one person has to be from engineering, right? So people from any college can enter this as long as you find somebody to drag along with you that is in the College of Engineering. The dates are up here, and one thing that I want to note is that every team that enters has the opportunity to show their prototype, right? You come, we line up out here, you have your posters, you have your prototype, you're able to pitch to judges, and then from that, 5 teams are selected to then present in front of the entire audience a PowerPoint presentation, explain their idea, and then you'll be judged in order to win those larger prizes. So that's all I've got for tonight. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
All right, so thank you very much to both of our guest speakers and all the sponsors we have here with us today. The other thing I wanted to point out that's really exciting is that if you apply to one of these competitions and you win as a finalist, you actually go directly into the $50,000 preliminary pitch-off in the spring. So you bypass the application process basically for the $50,000 idea challenge. So that's another big plus as to why you should definitely apply and get started with one of these competitions this semester. So I just want to quickly review a couple of the main dates and deadlines we have going on this semester. So when you came in, you should have received a DifferenceMaker postcard. If not, there's some out there. We can bring some extra in here for you to see. So today is September 25th, the kickoff event. This is also the day that both of the college-based competitions open, so the applications are open online. So the deadline is October 25th. So you have 1 month to get your application in to either both or one of the college-based competitions. Once you submit your application by the 25th, We'll reach out to you, and there's another deadline of submitting an executive summary by November 12th. And after that, the finalists are announced, and then you'll be pitching at the final events. So the main dates, just make sure you apply by October 25th, so you have 1 month to apply, and after that, we'll send you more information on the next steps. The other date I wanted to point out is September 30th. So next Monday, we have an entrepreneurial lunch happening, diagonal from here, right next to Starbucks in DifferenceMaker Central. So we'll have pizza and sandwiches, and you can come in, ask questions, begin talking to other students, as well as sharing your ideas. So make sure you pop in for our entrepreneurial lunch on the 30th from 12 to 1. So those are the main dates. Are there any questions so far about any of the college competitions or any of the dates? No? Okay. And we'll be around if you have other questions as the event goes on. Before the fun activity starts, which I know that's the main reason why you're all here, I wanted to just bring to your attention the Riverhawk Experience distinction, which some of you may or may not be aware of. These postcards were also on the registration table when you came in this evening. So we know that you all are involved in a lot of extracurricular things on campus, and we wanted to give you a chance to actually have something official attached to your name when you graduate from UMass Lowell. So if you do 2 experiences throughout your college career in one of these areas, such as entrepreneurship, leadership, community engagement, or global engagement, so 2 experiences as well as 2 classes, you can actually graduate with an official stamp or designation on your transcript. So that you can add it to your resume, you can show it to employers when you're applying to jobs, and it really acts as a differentiator when you get out into the marketplace. So if you have questions about this, you can email rhed@uml.edu, and all of the approved courses and experiences are online, and DifferenceMaker is a part of this as well. Any questions on that? Okay. So with that, and connect with us, so if you have any questions, please feel free to email us, follow us on social media, or on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. And now we're going to start the activity. So I want to introduce Hafo. So she's the DifferenceMaker program manager, and she has something very fun planned for you all.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming in today. My name is Hafo, I'm the program manager here. What I want you to do right now is actually sharing your idea, talking about the idea, but hold up. Before we're talking about the product, the service, we have to think about what problem that product and service is you trying to solve. Right? If nothing exists, if you will not be anyone accept your product or use your service or make that things happen, it's not solving anyone else's problem. Right? So let's start the whole sharing idea with problem first. Okay? So some of you in here come in here with an idea. Hold on to that. Let's think about that idea. What is the problem is trying to solve? In each of the table right now, you're sitting with your own interests or curiosity. Let's start with that. Share, talk to each other within your tables, and think about your idea, what is trying to solve, or something that you are caring to solve that.
Then we can come in and we can clean out and then we can read it. That looks to solution.
Is how to solve the problem.
Okay, and then you want to make it go by
Hi, my name is Conrad. Again, our problem that we're tackling is bringing opportunities in STEM and mentorship opportunities to students of color in low-income neighborhoods. So our idea, our solution that we're going with is helping pairing school kids, elementary and high school kids, with older students that are in high school, either graduating soon or in college, and pairing them to help them move along. So our prototype is just a model of a mentor and a student, showing different engineering fields that we have sort of on display. So basically our solution is a pairing program to help kids move along in their education.
So it's a mentorship program from grade school all the way to college?
Yep.
Wonderful
Yep.
job.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Great job.
So one of the idea that I have is to provide a trash pickup service that we're gonna give you the different kind of trash bags for you to separate your own trash into different trash bags, like such as aluminum will go into one bag, plastic go into another bag, food waste go into another bag, clothing waste go into another bag. And then by the time it gets filled up, you just request to pick up from your phone and we'll come pick it up, or you can drop it off at our facility. And will be a point rewarding system, so by the time it reaches like a certain amount, a certain point, we're gonna give you a check back. And we're solving this problem to the people who might be living next to a landfill, the ocean, the environment, and helping the city to make the recycling more efficient. Whoever wants to participate, all we're gonna do is drop off the different kind of trash bags, and you just sign up online or through your phone. We're gonna make an app, and then we're just gonna get it rolling in a certain city at first.
Thank you very much. The reason why you need to communicate is that if you want to solve a problem with someone, right, you have to be able to explain to them how your ideas work. You understand their problem from their standpoint. But it is very important to communicate your idea. Don't sleep with that idea. Share it out. Get more people coming in and add up to that idea. All right? So you actually do a good few things in here. Create a problem solving today. Right? Come up with lots of ideas. Choose your idea. Build your prototypes and work together in team. All right? Thank you very much. That's it.